Hey guys, Chris Trott from TaylorMade Golf. Hey YouTubers, my name's Chris Trott. I work for TaylorMade Golf. Today I'm at Fujikura Golf. I'm going to show you guys inside. We're going to talk about the products that they do. We're going to talk about how they can help your golf game for your next purchase. Come check it out. Hey Marsh, good to see you, bud.
Hey buddy.
So, we're here to film, find out a little bit about Fujikura, what people can use in their golf shaft to make them a better player so they understand it. Introduce yourself, tell us what you're all about.
Yeah, I'm Marshall Thompson. I've been at Fujikura for over 10.5 years, and I do the technical service, so I do anything from club building to heading out on tour and fitting some tour players.
And what he doesn't tell you, he's a good golfer as well, so let's check it out.
Every once in a while, lightning will strike.
So this we're going into now, this is Enzo, right?
This is Enzo. This is our fitting studio where we test out all of our R&D products, but we also utilize our high-speed 3D motion capture camera system, which shows me how that shaft is moving through space.
Legit. And I did actually spot a little something. What's this we've got going on? Look at that bad boy. I have to find out, where'd you get these from, Mark? There's not very many of these little puppies.
They're pretty. I haven't taken them to the course yet, but it's something on my to-do list.
Fantastic.
Yeah. This is Enzo. So it was an 8 camera motion capture camera system. We just added another 2 more, which increased the range. But simply what it is, it's trying to show me how a shaft is bending, deflecting, and twisting prior to impact.
Okay.
The cameras go up to about 2,000 frames per second, and it can just show me whether the shaft is leading, lagging, twisting, drooping. We can measure all that now, so it's a big part of our R&D.
Is this just for tour players, or is this for anyone?
Right now, it's just in R&D phase, but
Yes.
we have had a multiple amount of tour players that have come to our facility to get fit on Enzo, and they were just curious about certain dynamics of their swing or what a club was doing, and we were able to show them that, and then make some recommendations on what shafts to use.
Okay. So this is open for tour players and for consumers, right?
Yeah, this is basically an R&D tool that we're using, so it's for our in-house development, and it's also available for tour guys if they want to come in and they're curious about certain dynamics of the shaft and the head and what it's doing throughout the swing.
So walk us through the motion. I know I've seen this once before. Show us on the video here
Yeah.
what we can see. Where'd the name come from for Enzo?
Enzo is a perfect circle in Japanese.
Okay.
And
So there's some thinking behind it.
Yeah.
You weren't just having a few drinks.
And so what it was a way to, a swing kind of looks like that perfect circle, you know,
Yeah.
once you've seen the tracers on there, and that's
Yeah.
one of the things that we're able to do, you know, using a 10 camera system at such a high frame rate, we're able to see how that shaft is bending, deflecting, and twisting, but for teaching purposes, which we do invite players to bring their coaches in here, we're able to put a swing trace on their swing, and right here you can see, and I can also change that. I can do just what his grip is doing.
Yeah.
I can also do a full club. But also, I think the really most interesting thing is that I can take this into 3D space if I wanted to.
Wow.
And to give you an idea of what these cameras are doing, there's 3 cameras on every single sensor throughout the entire swing. Hold on, those didn't come up.
And all this information is used to help you look at bend points, bend profiles, and then put it into R&D for your future products that you're going to use on these players, right?
Correct.
At what point do you take the player's feel and try and work with that? Because feel is something that's obviously very different.
Yeah, I think feel is definitely it's unique for that certain player, and that definitely comes into it. And the interesting thing is about Enzo. So we'll just get into the data. I was hoping to show you all the cameras, and maybe I can pull up another swing and it'll show you. But it's kind of cool because it normally shows all the cameras and all the range on every single dot throughout the entire swing.
Yeah.
But to get into the heart of it, so all this data right here that you see below under swing 1, that is everything that we're recording. So we're recording your max hand speed. We're recording the handle speed, so how fast the handle is going. Max shaft deflection, that's how much somebody's loading a product. I can measure that now. Everybody says, you know, oh, he's a hard loader, oh, he's a soft loader of the golf club. To me, you can physically see that for certain players, but for certain players you can't. And we have the ability to measure that. So,
do you see changes? One of the big fads at the moment, and I think it's an important question if someone's looking to buy golf clubs, counterbalanced driver shafts. Do you see improvements in the hand speed and the club speed from
You know,
that?
I've actually seen, I've had a player that has come in and he was probably the hardest loader of the golf shaft I've ever seen. It actually bent over 5 inches from the top, which that's a lot of load. So
Tour player or just?
It was a tour player,
Okay.
yeah. And so by having a counterbalanced part, which usually has a little bit more material and a little bit more weight up towards the handle, it actually retained that load and got it back down to a zone that we like. We like about 3.5 inches. That's where players get their most amount of feel. That we've collected, that everybody liked, was in that 3.5 zone. But yeah, I mean, he bent the club 5 inches from the top of the swing. By having a counterbalance shaft, he was able to reduce that and actually store a little bit more energy and have that shaft kick forward.
So how then, in all of this, these products are so well used by some of the greats. I mean, DJ is big into his Fuji products, loves them. But how with all of this, when it comes out, does a consumer looking to put a Fuji shaft in one of their M5 or M6 heads, how do they choose if they don't have access to Enzo?
Yeah, you know, we've got 600 plus charter dealers across the United States that do fittings on a day-to-day basis, and they have our aftermarket products available to hit, and they can go on the monitors and try. And most of our designs, from Pro to even our newest Ventus, was all designed through Enzo, and it was based on this data. Enzo, with a Velo core technology, allowed the face to not twist as much through the impact zone, and it was faster on off-center hits. So when a consumer goes to get fit at your, one of our charter dealers, they can see that the technology is working because their ball speed's going up, their dispersion's getting tighter.
What's your take on tipping? That's always a good subject.
Yeah, you know, I think we make our products plenty stiff that for the average consumer, they don't need to go tip crazy. I think, you know, on tour, it's usually been a standard inch on the driver, 1.5 inch on the fairway. For your general consumers, they don't need that. Our products are plenty stiff enough in the tip and the handle, or you could always flex up. If you're an S guy and you want something that's stouter in the tip, just go to an X.
And I think that transitions awesome into the next bit. I know through there you have so many different ways in which you test these shafts, the rack, but rather than us talk about it, let's check it out.
Let's see it.
So this is, I've heard about this machine a lot, right? This is the rack.
This is the rack machine.
Was it designed, do you know anything about Guy Fawkes in the UK?
Not too much.
So a torture chamber that Guy Fawkes was on was called the rack.
Okay.
And basically, back in the day, we celebrate it now in November, but back in the day, this guy, Guy Fawkes, tried to get into the government buildings, Houses of Parliament. Don't quote me if anyone actually knows a lot more about Guy Fawkes than I do. But he was on a rack that would stretch him out. Yeah. And this is your version of torturing these golf shafts, right?
We are going to torture these things. We put them through the ringer because the last thing we want are a bunch of breakage and returns on our products. Yeah. So we want to know that our products are going to hold up over the course of play. And so what we do is it
looks so inviting. Obviously it's not inviting. I mean, if you're a golf shaft, now you're shaking, right?
Right, the lights will come on, it's inviting to go in there, but as soon as you get in there, you're toast.
Yeah.
So what we do is we mimic a hosel bore depth, so it goes in about 1.25 inches. We use an OEM's ferrules if we so choose. We apply a load to a shaft so it's then bending, and we spin it at whatever RPM we choose. And what it's doing is it's simulating impact. So it spins about 30 times a second. Yeah. So in 1 second, I've done basically simulated 30 impacts. And it goes all the way until it breaks. So we hope that it's gonna get, over 10,000 cycles. So let me start it up for you. I don't know if it'll break.
10,000 cycles, I don't know if we'll still be stood here, but yeah, it's gonna have to spin pretty quick.
We'll give you an idea. So you can see that it's kind of homing in there a little bit, and then it's gonna apply pressure, and then you'll see that shaft bending. You can see that it's bending pretty good, but now it's gonna get up to steam here.
Wow. And simulates the load, as you say.
Correct. And so this'll run, depending on the profile. I mean, if you put like an 80-gram X-Flex with a ton of material, I mean, that thing could go all day. But, some of our lightweight designs in that sometimes 30 to 40-gram weight range, we need to make sure that they're going to hold up.
Okay, it's an interesting way of doing it. It's obviously, different from how the other companies do it. I take it the rack is just for Fuji.
Yeah. We created this here from our engineering department, and we've actually sold it to a few of the OEMs, and actually TaylorMade is one of the ones that bought it.
Sweet, I knew I'd seen it before.
So if you've seen this in the office, yeah.
They keep it away from me, but
So Trotty was asking about the overall picture of what these shafts do and the future of these development parts, and And what this does, it's a shaft scanner EI profile, and these two lasers will run down the length of the shaft, and they're gonna measure the outer diameter, and then this bar in the middle drops down and applies pressure so that shaft is now bending, and it rescans it, and I can tell you how stiff this profile is for every millimeter of that shaft. And then what we'll do is we'll even take our competitor shafts from time to time and put them on here to find out what they are. So when I know a tour player is using that shaft on the range and he's fallen out of love with it and it's not going to where he wants it to go, I know what that compares to in our lineup due to this EI shaft scan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it for you.
So a tour player can get the absolute bespoke one-off product based on something they like, based on a shaft they've had success with, and you guys can recreate that here.
Right. So you see these lasers are getting ready to run down the length of the shaft here.
Enzo through there that will tell the player where it loads. You then come in here, you have all this available. Do you see us getting to a point where the consumer can go in, tell the fitter what he thinks he needs, and then it can be narrowed down to literally 2 Fujikura products, and it's a case of, look, hit that, try it.
I would say an educated consumer who is familiar with golf and clubs and you know, reads up on equipment, yeah, they could for sure have a certain feel they like and tell their fitter, yeah, this might work well for me. But for the average consumer that doesn't know, you got to put your trust in that fitter and make sure that he's, you know, making the right call to put the right shaft and club in your hands that's going to perform the best on the course.
Cool. Let's show us some other cool stuff.
Yeah, some other cool stuff. This is a laser etch machine. It's another way that we can get maybe graphics out to tour a little bit faster. You know, if the decals come in, we can laser etch maybe the label or the flex or the weight or something on it within a matter of seconds. Sometimes if they're not here in the paint and we need to get stuff out quickly, it's just a quick way for us to do it. Or it's also a cool factor too. I mean, I can laser etch somebody's face, I can laser etch a logo, I can laser etch a name. We've got something that's already kind of set up here, and it shows up.
I like what you've got set up.
It shows up really well in the white. So hold on, I'm going to press go, and you guys can watch that laser do its work.
Oh baby, that's cool.
Okay.
That is different level.
Let me take this out.
That is mint.
Let me get a little acetone. We'll make it pop a little bit more.
Fantastic.
You got acetone back here?
So good. This is the room, Andrea. You should keep it nice and tidy in here. Paint rooms are a nightmare, aren't they, for dust? That's one of the biggest things.
There we go.
Definitely.
Look at that.
There
Mark.
you go.
That is so sick. So sick.
Yeah, and it only took, what, 20 seconds?
I'm gaming that no matter what happens here. So good. So talking about these Ventus and these options, you've got the LT, which is black.
Yep.
Dustin, I know, loves that shaft. So you then have the red, which is the mid, so the lower, the higher launch.
Yep.
Why do you think DJ, having been around him so much, I'll be honest, I built him a lot of drivers myself.
Sure.
He always gravitates to that Fuji. It's like a kid with a blanket.
Yeah.
Why do you think he loves that thing so much? And he is an amazing driver. Probably the best I work with. Him or Rory.
I think it's a part that's worked well for him because he was using that evolution for so long, and that thing was raw frequency of 305. I mean, that's a beast of a shaft, and it worked well for somebody who swings at his speed and loads it as hard as he does.
The Ventus Black.
So then well, that was with the Evo 5, and then we introduced, we sent him the LT from Ventus. We matched up, obviously, those specs as far as stiffer handle, stiffer mid, stiffer tip, and we added VeloCore technology into that profile. And he's
so this ties in great. Everything you've done out there, effectively, you have a player who's been a great talisman for your brand, and you can take everything that we've witnessed, the EI, the profile, everything, and literally create a shaft that's going to go to market now, but with him in mind.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, that speaks volumes for everything that we've been through here. It's
yeah,
cool.
we have
Why
to.
haven't you given him a Tour Truck Tuesday?
Hey, we can't. Hey, if he wants it, I'll do it. Anything he wants.
At least get him a cheeky tailor-made on there.
I'll laser at some DJs on it. But yeah, you know, I think he's so comfortable with that product because he's won every single one of his events with that. You know, with a Fujikura product. What is it, 20 now?
It's like Tiger's putter.
Yeah, it's
There's
just
certain things these guys emotionally, and that's again what I battle with on the tour. There is an emotion about what certain clubs they have to use.
Sure.
I guess when you're playing for the trophies they're playing for, I understand it.
Yeah, you know, and we all have that club, right, that we hit so well. For me, it was an R11S. I loved that driver so much, and I still have it. It's sitting on the bench, but will I go back to it? Probably not, but I know I'll hit every fairway with it. It's a comfort thing. And
I think we all as golfers have that, like rocket balls. For me. The first white and green rocket balls. Just, it's a club that I've moved around the world with this job and lived in different, but it's traveled, and I think that everyone can relate to that.
Yeah, so I think if you keep that one
speed at 757. I mean, we haven't even touched on that. But it set golf graphite shafts off and running.
100%. You know, and I think if you keep that one variable the same for so long, you know, it's just, it helps with confidence. It helps, you know, obviously heads are going to change. They're going to get better at the way to design it. Obviously twist face came out, which, you know, helped bring the ball back to the middle. But he kept the shaft, you know, relatively feel the same.
The DJ shaft, whilst we're still on that, did that come through this room at some point?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's obviously with the graphics, the raw structures came over from Japan or from our factories, and Andreas painted them up for us, and we got about another 20 that he's working on currently.
If you get a 911 call from the tour, how quickly can you turn one around? How quickly can Andreas get that thing drying and getting it going?
Yeah, you know, so if we have the shaft, obviously we'll have to lightly sand it because it's probably going to have some type of graphics on it. If it's coming in raw, he can probably have it the same day or next day. You know, if we're in a pinch and let's just say we need to roll a shaft here, we could do that and probably have something ready in a few days.
Nice. Andreas, I'm ready to see your magic here, bud. So you've worked at Fuji for how long?
This is my 20th year.
Cool. So you've done a lot. You've done this a lot.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
If you look at our employees, Alex D, 21 years, Dave Schneider, our COO, 19 years, he's 20. Everybody's been here. Yeah, I know. I'm like the youngest one.
You're like, when are we going to employ someone else?
So no, about 95% of golf shops are painted this way.
Okay.
So not everything's we spray. We really don't spray too much unless you see some spray fades. Most shafts are probably getting sprayed with some version of this squeegee tip process. So basically, you have the rubber diaphragm at the end of this pot.
Yeah.
Paint flows down.
Yeah.
And all I gotta do is pull it down.
Pretty good.
There you go.
In a previous life, I feel like you would have been a swordsman. Just whipping that out. That was one motion. That was pure.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
We do all color coats like this, primer coats, even the clear coats that go on top, whether it's gloss, matte finish, whatever, all that stuff gets done the same way.
How many coats do you put on each golf shaft?
It varies on which product you're talking about.
Okay.
Like that one right there, you got about 3 coats of paint.
Okay.
But if you're looking at the old Pro Series, you took about 6.
Really? Okay.
And we use a technology, it's fancy and finish, and it's in a lot of our paint, which saves about 3 to 4 grams. So we can put that back into the profile or the design.
Weight is everything, right? Data.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that hits me. Data, weight, all this stuff now.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see where it's all going. What do you think's the future of graphite shafts?
Yeah.
And Fujikura?
You know,
Maybe get some younger employees who've only been here.
Yeah, right. I need that first.
Well, maybe not.
We have a few projects that we're working on with some very, very exotic materials that are currently being used on satellites that orbit the Earth right now. Yeah, anytime you can save weight, or you can have a stiffer flex or a tighter weave, or whatever the engineering department's looking for, yeah, we can. We're looking to make offers better, more consistent, and hit it further. I mean, that's always the goal. And if we can verify that with Enzo and the materials and technology we use, we're going to hit a home run. So,
do you think Enzo will ever be recreated to go in the realms of like a TrackMan? TrackMan gives you numbers, great.
Yep.
It also now gives you the optimizer, and you can look at it.
Sure.
And what do I need if you don't know?
Yeah.
Do you see Enzo getting to a point where it chucks out suggestions of what to play?
100%. Yeah, it's going to look at a player's swing type, and it's going to look at a player's speed, and how they load and deliver that club to the back to the ball, and it's hopefully going to spit out an option for you.
Marsh, it's always good to talk to all you guys at Fujikura, to have it on the doorstep. Fantastic, and that inspired me to put together this video, so I'm now inspired to go and hit this.
Yeah, it's all yours.
But let's get a game, and thanks so much for this.
Of course.
YouTubers, if you like these videos, if you want to hear more from guys at Fuji, guys at any of these companies, or what I do out on the tour, subscribe to this channel, leave a comment, let us know what you think. I will be sure to post this at trottiegolf, which is my Instagram handle. I'm very active on there, bringing you weekly stuff from the tour. But we can do more with YouTube if you want. Let me know. Until next time, this has been Marshall at Fujikura. We're in the paint room here, we're checking it all out. Fantastic, and I can't wait to give this bad boy a strike.